Picture this. You're lying awake at 3 a.m. staring at the ceiling, and that familiar whisper creeps into your mind. What if God isn't real? What if I'm just fooling myself? Your heart races, guilt floods in, and you think you're failing as a believer. But wait. What if I told you that this very moment, this crushing doubt you're experiencing right now, isn't your spiritual failure? It's God's masterpiece in motion. What if the Almighty didn't just allow your doubts, but actually designed them into your very soul? What if questioning God isn't rebellion against heaven, but the secret pathway to experiencing His presence like never before? If this resonates with your soul, hit that subscribe button, because we're about to uncover mysteries that will transform how you see your spiritual journey forever. Here's something that will blow your mind. The saints you admire most, the spiritual giants whose faith you wish you could have, they were drowning in doubt far deeper than yours. Mother Teresa, the woman who held dying children in Calcutta, who the world saw as the embodiment of divine love, spent 50 years, feeling spiritually empty. She wrote in her private letters, "I feel that God does not want me, that God is not God, and that He does not really exist." And Thomas, the apostle who walked with Jesus himself, who witnessed miracles with his own eyes, even he said, "Unless I see the nail marks in His hands and put my finger where the nails were, I will not believe." Think about that. This man lived with Jesus for 3 years and still had moments where faith felt impossible. But here's the twist that changes everything. It wasn't despite their doubts that they became spiritual powerhouses. It was because of them. Their questions didn't weaken their connection to God. They deepened it into something unbreakable. The very thing you think disqualifies you from God's love might be exactly what He's using to draw you closer than ever before. Let me share something profound with you. Your soul operates like a muscle, and just as physical muscles grow stronger under resistance, your spirit becomes more powerful when it wrestles with uncertainty. When you're comfortable and never question anything, your faith becomes soft, untested, like someone who never exercises but claims to be strong. But when doubt crashes into your world like a storm, something extraordinary happens in the depths of your being. Your spirit doesn't just survive the wrestling match with uncertainty. It emerges transformed. The questions that terrify you at night are actually spiritual workout sessions orchestrated by heaven itself. Think about it. If God wanted mindless followers, why would He give you a brain capable of questioning? Why would He design you with the capacity for wonder, for seeking, for struggling with mystery? The very fact that you can doubt proves that your faith isn't programmed into you like software. It's something alive, something growing, something real. Every time you choose to believe despite your questions, you're not ignoring your intellect. You're engaging it at the deepest level. You're saying, "I don't understand everything, but I choose to trust the one who does." That's not weakness. That's the most courageous thing a human soul can do. Now here's where things get really intense, and this might disturb you. People who claim they never doubt are often in the most spiritual danger. I've watched countless individuals who boasted about their perfect faith crumble the moment life hit them hard. Why? Because untested faith isn't faith at all, it's just wishful thinking wearing a religious mask. When someone tells you they've never questioned God, they're either lying or they've never truly encountered the living God. Because when you meet the Almighty, really meet Him, not just hear about Him in Sunday school, the encounter is so overwhelming, so beyond human comprehension that questions are inevitable. The burning bush doesn't just warm you, it forces you to ask, who is this God? Blind faith without questions leads to 2 deadly paths. Either you become a religious robot mechanically following rules without heart connection, or you become so rigid that the slightest challenge to your beliefs shatters everything. I've seen people abandon God entirely because their perfect faith couldn't handle one unanswered prayer or one moment of suffering. But those who've wrestled with doubt, they develop an unshakable foundation. Their faith isn't built on perfect understanding, but on deep relationship. When storms come, they don't fall apart. They remember every previous battle they've fought with uncertainty and emerged stronger. Here's the stunning revelation that changes everything. God doesn't want your blind obedience. He wants your authentic relationship. And authentic relationship requires the freedom to question, to struggle, to sometimes push away and then choose to come back. Think about human love for a moment. Would you want someone to love you only because they were programmed to, with no choice in the matter? Would that even be love at all? Of course not. Love requires freedom, and freedom includes the possibility of doubt, of choosing something else, of walking away. The fact that you can doubt God's existence makes your choice to believe infinitely more precious to Him. Your questions aren't interrupting God's plan, they're part of it. Every time you bring your doubts to heaven in prayer, every time you say, "God, I'm struggling to believe, help my unbelief," you're engaging in the most honest form of worship possible. You're showing up exactly as you are, not pretending to be more spiritual than you feel. God isn't threatened by your questions because He knows the answers. He's not insecure about your doubts because His existence doesn't depend on your certainty. What He wants is your heart, your genuine seeking, your willingness to keep knocking even when the door seems closed. The Creator of the universe designed you with curiosity, with the ability to think critically, with the capacity for wonder and questioning. Would He then be offended when you use those very gifts He placed within you? Your doubts aren't evidence of spiritual failure, they're evidence that you're spiritually alive. So what do you do with this revelation? How do you transform your doubt from a source of guilt into a pathway to deeper faith? First, stop apologizing to God for being human. He made you this way. Your questions don't shock Him, they invite Him. Start treating your doubts as prayers instead of, "God, why don't I feel your presence?" Try, "God, I don't feel you right now, but I'm choosing to believe you're here anyway. Show me what I need to see." Turn your uncertainty into conversation, your fear into seeking, your questions into quests for deeper truth. Remember, faith isn't the absence of doubt. It's the decision to trust despite doubt. It's saying, "I don't have all the answers, but I know the one who does, and that's enough." Every time you choose faith in the midst of uncertainty, you're not betraying your intellect. You're honoring both your mind and your spirit. Your doubts are not your enemy. They're not evidence that you're not good enough for God. They're the sacred wrestling matches that forge unbreakable faith, the questions that lead to encounters with divine mystery, the darkness that makes you appreciate the light when it comes.